bodies might be 30 or 40 or 50, but emotionally, maybe we're still 12 or 13 and haven't really stepped through puberty. So this is an invitation to really grow up and take responsibility for how we feel and not rejecting any of those emotions, because they are all fine, they are all neutral. Allowing them to feel, to resonate in our system, and then taking the wise decision on how to react, how to respond to the external without that blame game. What is emotional maturity? I think that's a quite intriguing topic, because many of us, we don't really know how to deal with our emotions. And I feel that in many spiritual traditions, that's also something that it's not really talked about, how to actually deal with our emotions. For me, that was a reason why I actually started to get into psychology and psychotherapy, because I didn't really see that. I didn't really receive that teaching from my spiritual teachers. So I think that's pretty important that we learn, first of all, how to deal with our emotions, and then also to understand what is actually emotional maturity. So kind of what's the goal here? So emotional maturity means to be able to host our emotions. Emotions are literally happening as part of the body. So it's kind of a reaction of the energies in the body, and it's like stored emotions, stored old energies coming up. And the more open our energy system gets, the more relaxed our body is, the more these old emotions start to actually come up. So emotional maturity is actually taking responsibility, being able to respond, responsibility for our own emotions. Meaning that we step out of this blame game that we are taught. Like if we look around, so many people are stuck in this blame game. And that's also one of the main topics, for example, in couples therapy, stopping to blame the other for how I feel. Oh, you make me feel like this, you make me feel like that. I mean, we've been all there. I've been there too, it's not. And I'm falling back into the trap constantly. But then I remember that no, these are my emotions. My partner is not at all responsible for how I feel. And therefore, not only my partner, all the world is not responsible for how I feel. When the train comes late, there's so many people complaining about the train and the train company, and I'll do this and that, and there's so much anger and frustration cooking and boiling. And in reality, this is my anger, this is my frustration, and the train is just bringing it up. Actually, we could bow to the train and say, thank you for coming late, because you showed me that I still carry so much anger inside of me. And that's the same with our partners, with our children. Our children, if they trigger us and we're angry, it's not their fault. And that's also what we want to teach our children. We want to teach them emotional maturity. We want to show them, look, now I'm angry, because it's not about denying. Anger is fine that it's there. It's natural. But it has nothing to do with them. It has really nothing to do with the situation. It is our anger. So how I react to a situation, that is my choice as a mature person. A child is very different, but I'm talking to adults here. So as an adult, as a mature, emotionally mature person, I am taking responsibility for everything that is happening inside here. Let it be thoughts, let it be emotions, let it be anything. That's my business. And then by seeing that, by allowing myself to feel all these different emotions, because it's pretty complex, to be honest. Sometimes we can be happy and angry at the same time, and that's okay. That is also part of emotional maturity, that we're learning to step out of this black and white thinking, and also allow the grace and all the colors in between, to feel all the colors of emotions, and then from there decide how I'm going to respond. That's why responsibility. I'm actually able to respond to any situation through wisdom, but not reactive to my emotions. Otherwise, that's like a child mode. That is a childish mode, and many of us are stuck in that childish mode, which is okay. It's a part of a development because maybe we haven't really grown up yet emotionally. Our bodies might be 30 or 40 or 50, but emotionally, maybe we're still 12 or 13 and haven't really stepped through puberty. So this is an invitation to really grow up and take responsibility for how we feel and not rejecting any of those emotions because they are all fine, they are all neutral. Allowing them to feel, to resonate in our system, and then taking the wise decision on how to react, how to respond to the external without that blame game that is provoking so much pain and so much, if you want to see the spiritual side, so much karma you're creating. This is samsara, that's the wheel, like we're constantly acting, reacting. And in order to step out of that game, we need to take that responsibility and be emotionally mature.